The movie begins in the village of Blackmore, England in the year 1891, where on a full moon night, we see a man named Ben chasing a sound in the forest. Suddenly, a male werewolf that looks like a wolf appears in front of him and kills him brutally. The scene now shifts and we are introduced to Miss Gwen, who is Ben's fiancée. Miss Gwen sends a letter to Lawrence, Ben's older brother, informing him of his disappearance. Lawrence has his own theater company and is currently in London on business. In fact, he has been away from home since childhood, but when he gets the news of his brother's disappearance, he arrives at his home in Blackmore after about 25 years. As soon as he arrives, his father, Sir John, meets him. He also introduces him to his servant Sing. Then he tells him that Ben's body was found in a ditch in front of the church yesterday. Lawrence goes to see Ben's corpse. Ben's body had many wounds, which made him very scared. At the same time, he is also given some of Ben's belongings that were recovered from his corpse. Now Lawrence is sitting in a bar, where some locals of the village are talking about these murders. In fact, 2 more people have been killed in the same way besides Ben. These locals said that a group of nomads has been camping in the Blackmore forest for the past 2 weeks and these murders have been happening since their arrival. And it is heard that they also have a bear, which is sitting right there. A man says that this is not the work of a bear at all. It happened the same way 25 years ago. Some people were killed by such a beast in the same way, in human form. His body was covered in hair and his claws were stronger than any sharp weapon. Now Lawrence returns home and meets Gwen and gives her the things that were recovered from Ben's corpse. He also promises her that he will find out the story behind Ben's death. Later it is shown that Lawrence and John are talking. Lawrence asks John about Ben's locket that was found with his belongings. Here, from John's words, he comes to know that this locket is somehow related to those nomads who are in the forest. At the same time, it is also known that those nomads deal in alcohol and girls, and that is why Ben also knew them. Lawrence was now going to his room to sleep, but on the way, he saw his childhood room and now the movie goes into flashback, where Lawrence sees his childhood. In fact, in childhood, Lawrence, Ben, and his mother and father lived happily here. But one night Lawrence hears the sound of someone screaming and when Lawrence goes out to check, he finds out that his mother has committed suicide and his father is sitting there crying. Now the next morning, after performing Ben's rituals, Lawrence goes to a lake where he and Ben used to play in childhood. Gwen was also here, and here we learn that after Lawrence's mother died, his father, Sir John, kept him in a mental asylum for 1 year and then sent him to America to his aunt. Now Miss Gwen leaves for London. Later, it is shown that on the night of this full moon, Lawrence goes to those nomads and asks their leader Malva about that locket and Ben, but then the wolf-like Lafini attacks him and kills many people with great cruelty. Runs away into the forest after a child. Lawrence also runs after that animal with a gun and when there is a scuffle between them at one place, the animal bites Lawrence on the neck. He was about to kill him when the nomads came and saved him and took him to Malva for treatment. When Malva was stitching Lawrence's wound, her companion tells her that the animal has bitten it and now it will also become like that. Before it kills others, we should kill it. Then Malva tells her that it is still a human being and we do not kill humans at all. Only the one who loves it very much can set it free. The next morning Malva goes to Lawrence's house with him. Sir John starts Lawrence's treatment with a good doctor, and Gwen also returns back to take care of Lawrence after hearing all this in the middle of the way. In the next few days, Lawrence's wounds heal on their own, and his hands become stronger than before. After recovering, one night Lawrence was talking to Singh, the Sikh servant who takes care of Sir John. Then his eyes fall on a box containing many silver bullets. Actually, these silver bullets are used to kill large wolves or large animals. The next morning, Inspector Aberline meets Lawrence to investigate the recent murders in Blackmore. From their questioning, we understand that they are suspecting Lawrence of these murders because his history tells them that he spent many days in a mental asylum in his childhood and he may still be crazy. Now it is shown that Lawrence and Miss Gwen are on the river bank. Here we see that a good friendship has developed between these two. Just then, Lawrence hears the sound of some horses. Actually, it is the night of the full moon tomorrow, and the church people say that Lawrence was bitten by that wolf. That is why he will also become a wolf tomorrow night and before he kills the people of Blackmore. These people try to catch it and take it with them, but Lawrence is saved with the help of Sir John and they go back. It is shown that the effect of the wolf bite is happening on Lawrence. He was staring at Miss Gwen's neck with very scary eyes. Now somewhere he also started to realize that people's words are true. Tomorrow he will turn into a wolf. That is why in the middle of the night, he goes to Gwen's room and tells her that this place is not safe for you now. Saying this, he sends her back to London right away. Now the scene of the next day is shown. All the people of the village were closing the windows and doors of their respective homes properly because they are sure that the wolf will attack all of them again tonight. On the other hand, the church people are shown laying traps in the forest to catch that wolf. Inspector Abberline is also waiting for the wolf to come to the bar in Blackmore tonight. Actually, more than half of the people of Blackmore spend their evening in this bar. Therefore, the chances of the wolf attacking here are very high. Inspector Abberline wants to catch Lawrence red-handed today at any cost. At the same time, we are shown Lawrence who sees Sir John going somewhere secretly as soon as it is evening. He also follows him and reaches a basement after chasing him, where his mother's tomb was. Sir John tells Lawrence that no one can stop the beast from coming out, she will come out and says so and locks himself in a room. As soon as John locks himself, then Lawrence slowly starts turning into a male wolf and in a short time he turns into a werewolf completely and now he is thirsty for everyone's blood. Lawrence goes to the forest where the church people had laid a trap for him and here he kills every human being brutally. After a while, when Inspector Abberline arrives there, he does not find anything except the dead bodies of those people. The next morning we see Lawrence, who has returned to his human body. His clothes were stained with blood. Inspector Abberline and his companions catch Lawrence and put him in the same mental asylum where he was put in childhood. Lawrence is tortured badly in the asylum here and after many days, Sir John comes to meet Lawrence and here we come to know that Sir John is himself a werewolf. Actually, 25 years ago when Sir John went to India, he came to know about a boy on a hill there who was suffering from some strange disease. When Sir John went to meet him on the hill, he was bitten by the boy and after his bite, he became a werewolf and one day on a full moon night, he mistakenly killed his wife, that is, Lawrence's mother. After that, he used to lock himself in the basement every full moon night with the help of his servant Singh. But one day he came to know about Ben and Gwen's relationship. He felt that his second son would also be away from him. That is why one full moon night he drank a lot of alcohol. Due to which he could not lock himself in the basement and on the same night when he turned into a werewolf, he killed Ben. After that, he realized that he should not suppress the beast inside him, but let it go openly. And on that night when a wolf attacked the nomads' camp in the forest and in which the wolf bit Lawrence, that wolf was Sir John. John leaves a razor for Lawrence and says that if you do not like this life, then take your own life. It is shown further that the next evening the doctor presents Lawrence to some people of the church. Actually, today is a full moon night and they want to show everyone that Lawrence is perfectly fine and his transformation into a werewolf is only his illusion and nothing else. Inspector Abberline was also among those people. Now, after a while, when the full moon rises in the sky, Lawrence slowly starts to change into a werewolf in front of everyone and kills some other people along with the doctor and runs away from there. Inspector Abberline tries hard to catch him, but he escapes all of them. It is shown the next morning that Lawrence has reached London and goes to Gwen's shop to meet her. Here he tells Miss Gwen everything about Sir John and says that I have to go to Albert Hall to finish all this. Gwen explains to him that she will cure him. There must be some treatment for this and here we can see that now Gwen and Lawrence have started to love each other somewhere. But then Inspector Abberline knocks on the door of Gwen's shop and asks her about Lawrence. However, Gwen does not tell them that Lawrence is here and they forcibly enter and start looking for Lawrence. But by then Lawrence had left there for Blackmore. Inspector Abberline also leaves for Blackmore with his people. Gwen leaves for Blackmore and after searching for a few days, Gwen meets the same nomad who treated Lawrence in the forest. Gwen asks her how Lawrence can be cured. She says that there is no cure. To be free from this thing, he will have to die so that this curse does not spread further. Meanwhile, Inspector Abberline reaches Blackmore and deploys all his men in every corner of the village and orders everyone to shoot Lawrence wherever he is seen. All of them had silver bullets in their guns, which are used to kill a male wolf. Meanwhile, Lawrence also reaches Albert Hall by evening and here he sees that Sir John had killed his servant Singh. He takes silver bullets from Singh's box and puts them in his gun and starts looking for his father. As soon as he sees Sir John, he shoots him, and here he comes to know that John had removed the gunpowder from these bullets many years ago. With this, once again the full moon rises in the sky, and these two father-son turn into werewolves and start fighting with each other. The whole house catches fire during this fight. But in the end, Lawrence cuts off Sir John's head from his body and throws his body into the fire, and in this way he kills Sir John. Just then Miss Gwen and Inspector Aberline also arrive here. Inspector Aberline tries to shoot Lawrence, but Gwen stops him. But here Lawrence attacks the inspector and bites his throat. Gwen runs away into the forest with the inspector's gun. Lawrence also chases him to kill him and goes to a place and catches Gwen. Gwen tries to calm Lawrence down and makes him identify herself. Lawrence's mind also recognizes Gwen and he stops. He does not kill her. Just then Inspector Aberline starts coming here with his people looking for Lawrence, and this distracts Lawrence's attention towards the inspector and his people. Now, taking the right opportunity, Gwen shoots Lawrence with the inspector's gun to free him. As soon as he shoots, Lawrence returns to his human body. Here, he thanks Gwen for freeing him and dies in her arms. Although Sir John and Lawrence are both dead, but even now this village has not been freed from the terror of the werewolf. Because during the fight, Lawrence bit Inspector Aberline, and on the next full moon night, he will also turn into a werewolf. With this, showing the full moon,